Putin. You're sent by Jesus, apparently, and what you need to do after you get rid of Khazaria, aka Ukraine, Israel too, you must realize, I was telling you that Israel and USA and Australia and UK are the main bases that these parasites exist in. And if we get rid of them completely, because it's a very serious situation here. I don't think anyone understands this, and I don't give a fuck, because no one understands fucking how to wipe this shit off their ass properly. So I'm done with explaining what happened when someone's 2 seconds old compared to a person who's like 20 fucking billion years old trying to educate a 2-second-year-old. But anyways, so Putin, what's important here is once we get rid of Ukraine, that the oligarchs who created the previous Bolshevik Russia, those people, I don't know what we're gonna do, dude. We're gonna have to do fucking pure fucking just mass fucking extermination. We're just gonna have to hope and pray there's a God, and if there's not, then we have saved all these other planets that don't exist in the fake solar system and the fake universe and all this stuff. Right? We've saved them from everything on this planet because these humans out here, each one of them has one of these demon breeds next to them. You might see that with Donald Trump. Joe Biden has 3 behind him every time. Donald Trump is one of them. His whole family is them. Reagan got shot in the head for even questioning a couple of them. Clinton, he looks like a mutant. He probably is one of them. And his wife looks like, a mutant. She definitely is one of them. One of them is one of them because their child definitely looks like a mutant. And their child had to have plastic surgery at 14 and started dyeing its hair. I think like Ivanka started dyeing its hair. But just like Trump's Ivanka, they had to have plastic surgery at 14 to look human. Because they understood. That's why the plastic surgery stuff is so hip and cool. And then you get these retarded people who you would just want to smack in the face, except for it already looks like they got these lips the size of Grand Canyon on this little small 6-foot human or 3-foot, 4-foot human. And it's like you already feel bad for them. It looks like they've already been smacked in the face enough times. But you want to smack them in the face again because they just got plastic injected in their face. That's where this has come from, is these mutant aliens have made it so it's like the twin to have your body chopped up and deformed and plastic inserted in your body. That way they get away with it when they do it, and they aren't like, why are these people who look like mutants and rats getting this weird stuff happening from the Bogdanov twins? You can look at the Bogdanov twins before they died, and before they literally became these. There's 3 looks after you get plastic surgery. There's only 3 ways the doctors design it, so you can tell them all once you meet them. And if it's gotten done just slightly, you can't tell they're retarded and stupid just yet. But when they get the Bogdanov twins, you can see them. They were scientists, the pedophile Einstein everyone worships, and the pedophile Carl Sagan everyone worships. But you don't even know what Carl Sagan is, do you? He's Jesus. He's the new Abrahamic God. There's Jesus, and then there's Satan, and then there's now there's Jesus, and there's Allah, and then there's Satan. Now there's Yahweh. There is Jesus, Allah, Satan, and then there's Carl Sagan. And so we have Christianity. We have Bible bullshit. Before that we had the Pharisees who were masks that made them look like birds and stuff like that. Amen, Ra, and all those stupid fucks. And then, so we had the Pharisees and Sadducees, and then supposedly Jesus came to save us from them. And then, so Jesus is one of them as well, so it didn't really matter. They even said he was a rabbi. And then there's the other retard, Allah, Muhammad. And then there's the other retard after that, who's the dude who wrote the Satanic Bible? Anton LaVey. And then, so Anton LaVey didn't last very long. So, like 20 years later, they had this retard Carl Sagan come out. And he's like, "Who's science?" And then, like, he's kind of like the prophet of scientism. And they invented this dude Einstein 60 years before that. And you can tell, like, he looks like a person who raped some black people. And, his parents must have went to Africa, raped black people, which is odd because that timing lines up with when they went to Africa and killed everyone and enslaved who wouldn't come with, killed everyone who wouldn't come with them to be sold as slaves. So we have Einstein right there where what they look like shifted to a different alien species look. And then we have Carl Sagan, probably using a hair straightener like David Icke does, trying to tell us these are reptiles and they look like rats, and like David Icke looks like a rat. Everyone else looks like a rat if they don't get plastic surgery in time and straighten their hair. Anyways, the bottom line is here, I've only got a few 100,000 hours left, so we have to like accelerate the progress of the game. We got to get to the core of the game. I can't just sit around and play Frogger while the game continues. It's like this cool ass game I used to play, Mystical Ninja. Like, I went to play Mystical Ninja and I played Gradius the whole freaking game because Gradius was inside Mystical Ninja, and I never beat Mystical Ninja because I'd spent my whole freaking time playing Gradius. So in this game we gotta like hurry up and we gotta get it over. And so what's happening, I believe right now, Putin said the National Socialists who are of Israeli blood have taken over Ukraine, which is actually called Khazaria, which is where they took over Khazaria a long time ago. And hold on, time to throw up again. Only 18 times a day, or only 14 times a day at this point. Hopefully we can get to the point where I'm like spitting up blood rather than just small bits of it and I get to fucking die. But apparently, like, I'm forced to be here and I gotta continue the game and all this. Cause, man, no matter how many poisons and stuff I take, I'm still forced to be here. And everyone else, all these other rat faces who take 2% of what I do, they die. It's taking 2% of one of the things I do. And it's like, oh, I've never heard a rat face lie before about who dies and who doesn't and why they die. But, so I think at this point we should like really hope and pray, not to Jesus or any other Abrahamic or Israeli God. We should, by hope and pray, I mean we should grab bullets and guns and prepare, and swords and knives and poisons. And the odd thing is I've learned there's something else here. We don't even need weapons like this. We can just ask for things and the world starts to shift in this progression. So we can simply ask for these people to like keel over and die and not exist anymore. I feel if there like 10 of us could do this at the same time, they would all disappear. But it's going to be hard because they've bred out, they claim they're like a 2% of the population, but you can see from all the videos from me traveling for 30,000 miles, and now I'm outside of the Israeli states of America, Israeli states of occupied North America. I really hate those terms, America, because I don't know any Americans. I tried to stop on this nature reserve when I went out there, or Indian reserve, pretty much the same thing, right? Fucking, to those people, it's just animals fucking jumping around in the desert and sand and stuff. But a whole bunch of weird shit was happening. The whole place was on fire. And then I was driving on canyons and I missed the freaking spot. And I was like really weird to like think I'm going to be stupid enough to like turn around on these really steep canyon roads. So I didn't end up back speaking with the actual Americans. And then weird shit happened after that too. Like a cop like pulled up in front of all these vehicles and like stopped it, and they like smiled and waved at me, and then they like let everyone go. And they didn't, like, I was like pretty much prepared that my life was over at that point. I was like, well, we're gonna have to fight to the death right now, aren't we? And and they like smiled and waved at me. It's like, okay. And then like later after that I had to deal with more of them, and then when I dealt with them in the Walmart parking lot, they sent a cop out they called the cops, and then the cop comes out, and the cops went in too, and I don't really care. But it's a waste of time. I'm talking to like 3 of them about who they are, and I'm telling them their fucking time's up and all this shit. And the cop's just like, oh, you gotta go. And he's like, I was worried that, oh, that's another time my life's almost over. But seriously, when I was on those canyons, driving around those cliffs and stuff, and then the cop, like by the Native American Preserve, where I was gonna go see if they knew any of my family or some shit, like that felt like the last time I was going to be alive out of any time. Even when the feds rolled up on me with like 8-9 people and their guns drawn, and they just laughed as I fucking slammed on the brakes or gas and took the fuck off. I was like, I'm not the guy you're looking for. Slammed on the gas and fucking took off. They're like, are you up there with those people making meth? And I was like, fuck no. And I'm like, wham, hitting the gas. And it's like, that is not how any fucking cops or feds I've ever met before work. But unfortunately, like, those people were like European and Asian. I feel like if they might have been something else, that maybe those people in the black vehicles and all black were there to they didn't quite look like feds. They could have definitely been special task force. And when they did that, they laughed at me. And it's like, I'd never had a cop laugh at me for fucking driving. Then again, I don't know. It was kind of funny that one time, even though they still pressed charges against me or threatened to press charges against me for attempted murder on officers. That was like, I guess technically that was still funny and amusing and to all of us. But the other one, like, I didn't think, like, if I slammed on the fucking gas when I'm being surrounded by a special task force or feds, that they would think that, like, no, slam on the gas and drive the fuck off is actually the correct answer to what happens. You know what I'm saying? You take a little test when you're like 3 years old or in 3rd grade in elementary school, and they're like, what should you do when the feds and task force roll up on you with guns drawn and surround your vehicle? And like, answer, I don't know, Z. The 26th answer is slam on the gas and say no and slam on the gas and drive off. Like, and that's like the only one that fails. Everything else, it's like, pull your pants down and let them, come in your anus or whatever. Whatever they want to do. Like, that's answer 25. And then answer 1 is get out of the car and put your hands on the ground. And like, they don't even provide the ability to answer, like, pull out your M60 and call in a nuclear strike, an airstrike upon your location. And they don't even provide that. It's the dumbest thing you could ever do, according to this 3rd grade test they're going to give you, is say no and slam on the gas and peel the frick out in your Cadillac and get the frick out of the neighborhood, because it's either fucking death or it's fucking captive time. It's either time to go in and be a captive for life, or it's time for death. And so I chose death. And it's fucked up because I need gas too. So we got that gas real fucking fast and shit. I was still paranoid that those people in those vehicles who were looking for meth labs, who apparently thought I was a meth lab dealer, fucking laughed it off when I fucking slammed on the gas and peeled out. It's like, nope, bro, I am just a bum. I'm a bum with a car you haven't even run the plates on yet, have you? Fucking no. So, from like 2,000 miles away, that doesn't look obvious, right? Anyways, fucking what are we gonna do about this? Is anyone else going to do anything, or is Putin our hero and savior? Is this just like the start? Like, I figured this is how it works, right? There's 14 billion people on the planet. At these places I've attended, they allow, like, if there's 100 people there, the military and bomb squad and Secret Service allow them to assault me and don't do anything about it. So we've got to kill all those people. All of them are in it. Everyone in Washington, D.C., Secret Service, military, bomb squad, Alex Jones, NBC, ABC, CBS, Howard, obviously Howard Stern, but no. That's not what I'm talking about right now. It was that Roger Stone. He was supposed to be there. And we have We Are Change. Who are the people who run that? And you can see my videos. I confronted them and asked them why their bloodline controls everything. What was his name? Whatever. Howard. We Are Change used to be Lou Krudowski. And then up on stage there was the gay guy who was Republican. What was his name? The gay blonde guy they loved, the neo-Nazis loved, who was obviously Jewish, just like everyone else there. And then Laura Loomer, I think. It's like, okay, so I'm in them, and then I'm like looking around at the buildings in Washington, D.C., and like these are fortified freaking structures built like 200 years ago to withstand warfare. Like this city is built to withstand warfare. There's nothing really there. There's no glass. There's just these stone monuments that have a lot of support structures, and they're called buildings instead of just monuments. And not just monuments, it's buildings. And it's like, man, these are designed to like withstand cannon warfare from ships coming out, launching cannons at them. And it's like they've done a really good job at the end of the day, you couldn't just throw a Molotov cocktail into any of those places in D.C. and get rid of them. So you can't do that. But then they had the entire bomb squad. And the entire, like the military, they were more enforced than the Antifa at that, 2019 Washington, D.C. free speech event. And so I realized right then and there, like, if we're going to get rid of these people, we are facing an army